Washington opens the 2025 season with a 38-21 win over Colorado State out of the Mountain West. The Rams were able to keep themselves within striking distance for the first half of this game for a few different reasons that I'll get into later in this video, but Washington puts up over 500 yards of offense on 75 plays, and you have to start by talking about the performance from Jonah Coleman. 24 carries for 177 yards. That's the second most rushing yards in a single game in his career. He also had 2 touchdowns on the ground and an average of 7.4 yards per carry. 7 of his carries were classified as explosive runs going for 10 or more yards, and it came behind a much improved offensive line, and he talked about their performance after the game.
Like I said, that trust and that camaraderie that you got, with one another, like wide zone, you got to be able to trust the man behind you that he's going to get the reach block or he's going to climb to the second level. And, just being able to have that trust and that camaraderie, they showed that a lot tonight, They showed that a lot. They spent a lot of time this offseason making sure that, when we got to the game, they was going to feel us when we ran the ball. And that's what it's about, So proud of them boys, man. Shout out to them, man. They make me look good.
Washington wasn't able to separate itself early in this game. Colorado State was able to capitalize on some of Washington's self-inflicted mistakes and a turnover. And Coleman explained some of that difficulty early in the game and adjusting to an opponent mid-game.
I mean, it was our first time playing as a team together. So it was filling it out and seeing what they were doing. For us offensively, it was like, we didn't know anybody on their team that we were playing. We're watching a whole different team. We're watching Western Kentucky all, pretty much getting prepped because the defense coordinator was over there. So it was kind of feeling like, who are we playing, So we figured out who we was playing and then we did what we did, did whatever it takes and got the win.
It was 283 total rushing yards with an average of 5.5 per attempt, and DeMond Williams Jr. had 13 of those carries for 68 yards.
Yeah, we were able to run the ball at will, and, when that happens, it's awesome. As a quarterback, definitely opens up the pass even more.
And Williams got his first win as a starting quarterback at Washington, completing 18 of 24 for 266 yards and 1 touchdown. That's a 75% completion percentage. 6 different Huskies caught a pass. Denzel Boston was the most targeted wide receiver, 5 catches for 92 yards and a touchdown. And after the game, Williams talked about the one-handed grab that Boston pulled down in the corner of the end zone.
We have a chance to just throw it up there and let your guy go get it. It's great. Yeah, no, for sure. I think a lot of people had questions about his injury and stuff, and I think he proved today that he's even better than he was last year.
Freshman receivers Desmond Roebuck and Brayden Fowler-Nicolosi each played 30-plus snaps against Colorado State. Roebuck had 2 catches for 27, including a long of 23, and Fowler-Nicolosi had 1 rush in the game.
It was great. Having those guys out there is great for them. Definitely just continue to develop, and they'll get better as the season goes on. It felt good. Definitely helped trying to get the first game kinks out of stuff, and definitely just still embracing being a leader and being able to rally us together after just the first half and stuff.
And throughout the first half, Colorado State really answered Washington when it needed to, and it was in large part due to their running game with Jalen Dupree and their passing game with tight end Jaxxon Warren. Williams talked about his message to the team at halftime to help get things turned around.
Really just stop shooting ourselves in the foot. A lot of our stuff in the first half was more self-inflicted, and we knew that, and we came out, we corrected that.
Colorado State went 3 and out on 4 of its first 7 drives of the game, but the other 3 were well-timed touchdown drives lasting at least 65 yards each. Norvell was able to capitalize on some of Washington's mistakes, and the Rams never let the Huskies take a 2-score lead until the 4th quarter. After Washington's first offensive drive went for a touchdown, Colorado State matched them with a 9-play, 75-yard scoring drive. 53 of those yards were earned by running back Jalen Dupree. He would end up leading Colorado State in rushing on the evening, 92 yards on 15 carries with a touchdown. 3 of his runs went for 15 or more yards. He was the workhorse of Colorado State's first scoring drive, and his touchdown came at the end of the Rams' second scoring drive, which was the result of a Washington fumble. This game was tied at the half, and when Washington opened the second half with a touchdown drive, Colorado State matched it again with a 7-play, 65-yard touchdown drive. And this time, 6'8" tight end Jaxxon Warren was the workhorse. 2 catches on very similar play designs for 25 and 27 yards. The latter was a touchdown pass from Brayden Fowler-Nicolosi to tie the game at 21. But that was the last time Colorado State would find the end zone. Their next 3 drives ended in interception by McEllisteen and 2 turnovers on downs, while Washington scored on 4 straight possessions to open the second half. Rams third-year starting quarterback Brayden Fowler-Nicolosi made his 26th career start inside Husky Stadium. He was 17 of 32 for 180 passing yards, a touchdown, and a pick. With the 38-21 win over Colorado State, Washington's home win streak is extended to 21. And here are some of Jedd Fisch's comments after the game.
I thought it was a good game. A couple things about a first game. You're going to make some mistakes that you just don't want to see happen over and over. And I don't expect them to. But the snap, the exchange fumble, that was a tough mistake in that situation. We're on the 31-yard line, 2-minute drive, minute and 40 left. Had a chance to at least have a field goal there. Instead, they actually went down and scored a touchdown. So that was a really rough exchange there. We had a false start penalty on the 3rd and 5 on, I think, the 28-yard line. Knocked us back to a 3rd and 10, and then we had a mental error on offense there. So those couple drives were really self-inflicted. Second half, played very clean. So that was good on offense. Defensively, had one rough drive to start the second half, and really wasn't a rough drive. It was a rough 2 plays. It was a 3rd and 19, and then an unbalanced play where they hit the tight end. But other than that, I felt that our team came to play. It was a good first game to get behind us. That's a very good team. I would bet that team wins a lot of games this year, and they won 8 games last year. Coach Norvell does a great job with his football team, and we had our work cut out for us. We knew that, but I am proud of our guys. I'm really proud of our offensive line. I thought that they did a really, really good job. We ran the ball for, I think, 283 yards, and that's pretty cool. And that tells me that we're getting to where we want to be. We had 500 yards of offense and more runs and more rushing yards and passing yards. And then I would say defensively, that play by Mikel was a huge play. It was 28-21, and we were kind of going back and forth. And then we wind up stepping in front of the ball. Mikel gets a pick. We then kick a field goal, make it 31-21, and then we're able to kind of take control there. So altogether, I thought it was a good game. I'm glad Damon got a win in his first start in the 2025 season. It's also his first win as a starter. So gave him a game ball for that. Had a couple guys that had first ever touchdowns. Cade Eldridge, Adam Muhammad. Excited for those guys. Excited for Devin Hyde's sack. So altogether, it was fun to see the game tonight, and excited for next week.